1,000 apologies, my lord.
6 athletes, 5 episodes, 4 events a day, 1 very long week. Nature Walk UK was the longest and hardest strongman competition in history, but please don't fact check that because I didn't look it up. For decades, strongman has asked, who is the strongest? Well, Nature Walk asked a completely different question, but I'm still not sure what that question is. Maybe we'll never know. Alliances were formed, alliances were broken, there were tears, there was blood, and at least one boner. Who wrote this shit? Now we're reuniting the cast to revisit the moments that defined a generation. Tonight, for the very first time since filming Wrapped, we've got all the athletes back together. I'm your host, Tommy Lavelle. Welcome to the Nature Walk UK reunion. Let's see who's still talking to each other. So, Dean, it's not a problem for me, but if the internet is any indication, no one seems to be able to understand you. Is that a normal thing for you, or is it just the Americans that have no idea what you're saying?
It's everyone's problem, and it'll say the problem.
Wait, what did you say?
He said it's everyone's problem, and I'll tell you the problem.
Yeah, I thought you were going to say something else.
I have to say, I understand Dean just fine. And every time I talk to Dean on WhatsApp, my wife would be like, who the fuck is that? What is he saying? I'm like, that's Dean. I understand him just fine. What are you talking about?
Well, speaking of confusing accents, Zach, welcome to the show. What are you weighing these days, Zach?
I'm right now I'm just a little over. I'm like 91 kg right now.
Well, Nature Walk UK was a trip of firsts. And speaking of first-time trips, Zach, how was your first mushroom experience?
Well, it was. I kind of went. Well, the second.
Are you tripping right now?
Well, the second first mushroom experience was better.
What?
Because the first time I took them, I only took like a little bit in the van, and then when we went out, the second time I took way more.
Yeah, you had like half a bucket.
I have a similar story about my virginity. Well, someone who I am absolutely sure has tripped since filming Wrapped, he puts the trip in road trip, joining us from Scotland for sure, and maybe another planet entirely. Finley Mercer, welcome to the show.
Hey guys, glad to be here.
Finn, your hair's gone.
Yeah, so I was telling the boys that went to the barber. I was like, "Yo, freshen me up, man." I had these hairs that were almost ready to go into my bun, and then he just cut them off. And he just started cutting my hairline away. So I was like, "Do whatever the fuck you want, bro. I don't care. You just freestyle." So yeah, it's gonna grow back out. But right now,
as a former hairdresser, I apologize on behalf of the entire hairdressing community because
I appreciate it.
That's pretty fucking rude. How's the hamstring? Were you in fact competing on a torn hamstring, or what did it end up being?
Well, I think it was like a really bad grade 1 tear. But throughout the whole week, it just felt like it was like popping and ripping more and more and more. So I felt like I was kind of having to weigh up, should I do this? Like, is it worth it? And normally the answer was yes. And, I came out all right, but it did feel very close to like being properly bad. But yeah, it was like being shot with a BB gun, like randomly. So.
Oh, of course. Absolutely. We all know what that's like. Say no more. Well, I guess now's a good time to address the elephant of hair in the room. Josh Kovalevsky, welcome to the show. I'm on a personal mission to try to teach everyone how to say your last name, and I'm still not even sure if I'm saying it right.
Yeah, Kovalevsky.
Josh, has Finn reached out and formally apologized to you for how he treated you during filming?
Come to think of it, there was no formal apology.
Well, Finn, this is a great Finn. Is there anything that you want to say to Josh right now?
Well, it seems like you didn't remember our heartwarming time at Worlds. So
there was absolutely love at Worlds. No, we didn't. No.
There's lots of love, and I think we're both competitive spirits, and I think those sides of us they got brought out, and I think it was really nice.
But it seems like you have made up. if there was ever anything to make up for.
That's a good point. I think it was just kind of heated competition, and you know, I think Finley put it perfectly. Just we both got this competitive spirit, and it was time for some of that to come out in odd ways. It's odd what just only really had any mix ups about challenges not even involving strength or anything like that. Like, chocolate milk was a hot topic. That was a hot button for me.
That was spicy.
Yeah.
Well, this next athlete also had his fair share of beef. He had some major beef, but it was with his own body. And something even crazier than tripping on mushrooms while competing was competing all week with only one arm. Of course, it's Kyle Scott. Kyle, welcome, and how's your arm?
Yeah, it's better. Funny enough, I actually twinged it yesterday, doing something which I haven't done in like 4 months, but it's been feeling good. It was back at 100% there from my last competition, roughly. But yeah, it's going good. Going good.
So was it a bicep tear, or what was the issue?
Well, the physio that I went to between him and one of the other guys there, they basically said it was like a grade 2 tear. So bit of damage, but it's like a muscle belly tear, so it's not going to heal or anything. But
well, your arm didn't fly off, so
nearly did a couple times, but
yeah, I don't know how you did that all week. I mean, there are a lot of things that would get me down, and I think that would have gotten me much more down than it seemed to have gotten you. So next up is one of the 2 people to miss a world record attempt on the show, but his didn't involve chicken nuggets. But he still holds the record for the biggest pound-for-pound deadlift in strongman, or
in strongman, yeah.
It's Rich fucking Molinar. What's up, Rich?
Yeah, I'm good, man. How are you?
Doing all right. So I didn't show all of your attempts the day that we competed at Patty's. Looking back on it, I was kind of remembering that was a lot of work to do before an entire day of competing. What was the record that you were trying to break? What were you trying to go for? And what were your pull attempts leading up to the record attempt?
So what we tried to do was the Cambridge deadlift record, which is a 12-inch axle deadlift. It's something that's like held in Paddy's comp every year. It's always the opening event is the max deadlift. Record stands at 365. I don't know why I thought I could do it. Like, I was hungover. I'd competed for 3 days. I'd slept outside. We just had breakfast. I went, fuck it, let's go.
You had me convinced. I think you seemed really confident going into it. I think all of us were really excited to see that happen.
Well, I prepped for it in like April, May last year for his comp. And I kept on getting like lower back and glute issues. And it was sort of highlighting a problem. So we'd fix that. And I was like, now my body's fixed. I can do this. It doesn't matter that I'm tired, right? I'm a freak. I can do this, right? And then running on a piece of bacon and 2 hash browns and 4 hours sleep, I thought, you know what? Today's the day.
And that's the night you guys slept outside as well, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So not even, you did a mile run the night before, then you slept outside.
Yeah.
Absolute perfect circumstances.
I can assure you, from sleeping directly next to Rich that night, he slept like a baby for those 4 hours.
Sleeping outside was probably better than sleeping inside, from what I'm told.
I was going to say, it was better than sleeping near Zach, which I'd done for the first 2 nights and was never repeating again.
Zach decided to watch the fucking longest yard on the highest volume on his laptop right next to me. So I pulled the short straw.
When we were at the house on night 1 and 2, Zach and me shared a room, and Zach was sleeping this close to me. And I shit you not, it was like having the exhaust of a diesel generator next to my face. His 220-pound sleep apnea ass, right? Here.
Corn-fed, baby, corn-fed.
I pulled 330, and I went, you know what? That moved like shit, but I can do it. And then it barely even broke the floor at 370. But I've got another go at it in May, so hopefully we'll get it then.
I think if anyone can do it, it's probably you.
Yeah.
So, always last, but never least, It's the guy who made sure all these failed world record attempts got recorded in the book. 1/3 of the natties on the trip. It's Jacob Seiler. Jacob, what's up?
What's good? What's good? Happy to be here.
So, did you know what you were getting into when you signed up to be the scorekeeper on Nature Walk UK?
No. What ended up happening was like probably not even close to what I was expecting. You know, I saw, oh, I'll keep the score and then I'll mostly just be comedic relief and I'll be the quote unquote average man in comparison where I won't be able to do anything and then they make it look easy. And I think it was really the inverse of that. You know, I don't think anybody anticipated the way the challenges were going to get so fucky. And so it was really like 80% of my effort was keeping the fucking score as straight as I could. And then like every once in a while, I was like, okay, I'll jump in and try this just for fun. But yeah, it was pretty crazy.
Hey, man, I think you're officially one of the boys now.
Good stuff.
Well, before we go any further, let's just take a quick look back at the season.
Talking now. Forget about it.
Someone check. Someone confirm. Fuck! You can't. No.
1,000 apologies, my lord. I am competing in my underpants today for 50 points. Oh, come on.
It was warm there. It wasn't. Rich is just running around.
Force him in. Push it in, come on.
Oh, no fucking words.
Stick it in. Open your fucking mouth and cheer.
Oh my god.
What TV show is it? We're doing Nature Walk UK. It's for a bunch of strongman athletes going around the UK. We started in the north of Scotland. We lifted the Dinny Stones. Okay. You know those? No. The nickel stones. We're competing and we get 10 points for hugging a stranger.
Go on then. There you go, mate.
Thank you.
Points.
Thank you.
Did I ever tell you about the time I got tacky in there?
Nice.
You into the kitchen?
The score I just called out included 25. Fucking helmet. Excuse me.
What did you watch?
150 points richer.
What did you watch?
Kimmy Granger likes it rough.
Yeah, right.
Come on. 1 minute. 105.
Oh, it was touching. It was touching, right? Cool, that's it. Thanks, guys. Just do it.
I don't know if you guys noticed, but I still had abs in that last shot at 220. So
Yeah, but they were like Eddie Hall growth hormone abs. They weren't like abs.
Zach, you also had like early stages of kidney failure going on. So I think trade-off isn't exactly
early stages, bro. That was on the flight. I was like end stage by the time we got there.
So, looking back at that that highlight reel, and you know, I've spent a lot of time in the edit, and I keep remembering like how crazy that week was for me. It just felt so stressful, like so much work, but I wasn't even competing. So I want to know from you guys, like, you basically did everything I did, but you were competing the entire time. What was that even like?
I thought that it was definitely the best way to display who the strongest is, because in this particular contest, we had absolutely no way to know anything we were doing. We were, you know, whether it was by design or by chance, under incredibly unfavorable circumstances, from recovery, sleep, illicit drug use, you know. And then we're like, hey, by the way, you guys are going to compete in this contest today with incredibly heavy weights. Probably not going to warm up very much. And yeah, we'll see how it goes.
For me, it really felt like so nice to unplug from like everyday kind of life and like, spending time on your phone and stuff, spending time indoors. And it just felt like the 5 days were kind of like a seamless dream. And I found that the longer we were there, then the more I was kind of getting into it. And I think everybody was getting into it, getting more kind of creative and competitive in a really like healthy way, I think. And I think it brought out like a lot of good things. And I feel like off the back of that, I do feel like a better person and a fuller person, and like I feel like a better competitor. And it was just like so much fun, and I think everybody had so much fun most of the time.
Yeah, that makes me Josh, I wanna ask you, it seemed like as the trip went on, you started to get a little bit more stressed. On the 4th day, I think, especially, like, that started to come out, you started to get, that's when your and Finn little rivalry really started to kick off. The week was really stressful, so I'm just wondering, is it just the stress of the week that was, like, building up over time? I mean, I was emotionally exhausted by the end of this thing.
Yeah, no, I think it's a definitely a combination of factors. Like between, I mean, specifically that night, right before that, was when we slept outside, and I think collectively we got 8 hours of sleep between all of us. You know what I mean? Like so, lack of sleep, bodies thrashed. That's one thing we didn't talk about, and really people might not know about this going into like the competition, but like my body was completely annihilated going into this. So I think at that point, just the combination of all the different stressors and, feeling like things weren't exactly going my way, the competitiveness between all of us, and all of that just kind of came to a head on that day.
Obviously we spent the week together, but I got to spend a lot of time in the footage. So on the lumberjack carry, it seems like you hurt your back, or you were maybe about to hurt your back, and it seemed like that might have been the sort of trigger that like helped propel that, especially at the end of a really long trip, like you said, sleeping outside and everything else.
Yeah, that lumberjack carry did not do me any favors for my back injury that I had going into this. And then on top of that, my shoulder injury, which also had to like having to hold the sandbag up, and that was just kind of like a perfect storm of things that would just destroy me physically. But then again, just not wanting to quit or give up. I mean, shit, like even in the edit, like I wanted to go back and just do it again and just keep going. And it's like, and you're like, dude, stop. We can't do this.
Yeah. Well, I totally forgot about the shoulder thing. Yeah, you just had surgery, right?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, 3 months ago now.
So broken back, broken shoulder, but stronger than ever, I hope.
Yeah.
Much respect to Josh. She didn't complain the whole time either.
The
Jacob, do you think Josh complained a little?
Yeah. I seem to recall a handful of complaints throughout the week. Whether it was about interpretation of the rules or strictness of the rules applied to each person exactly.
Oh, that, yeah.
Even I think the Nickelstones, the very first event, I think he was like, "Oh, we got to make sure the stones start in exactly the same place for everybody." So I think that was from day one.
So like going into Nature Walk like 6 or 7 weeks before Europe's Strongest, I'd got like quite ill and spent some time in hospital afterwards. So going into Nature Walk, I was like, don't take it too seriously, don't push yourself too. Like I was still learning like how far my body could go, and you could see on the sort of, particularly the sort of endurance events, I was so conservative because I was like, didn't want to cause any more problems. So like looking back at it, I'm like, I watch it, I'm like, I was kind of not myself competitively, but equally, I didn't expect the competition to be as hard as it was. I thought, there's no way that you'd be able to put together a string of events like that, like the Dinnies and the Dragonstones, and then some of the events that we did at Flashes and the events that we put together. Like every single one of the events that we did, it's something that you could see in your local strongman comp. Whereas I thought it'd just be sort of nothingy kind of events just done outside. So yeah, it was way more challenging than I expected.
You heard it here first. Nature Walk UK, just as good as a local competition.
Can I just say the Nature Walk events are better than British national comp events, like the event selection.
Yeah, I've heard.
But we won't get into that.
Well, I think in contrast to what I experienced and maybe what some other people experienced of getting more stressed out through the week, I think someone who, at least from my perspective, had the exact opposite experience is Dean. I feel like in the beginning, Dean was a little bit more stressed out, but toward the end, I think was having the most fun of anyone. Dean, do you agree with that? Do you think that's accurate?
Yeah, I'd probably say so. Sometimes I can be a bit antisocial. Say we're around a lot of lads, and then you start to come out you sort of come out a bit more in it, be a bit more eccentric. But obviously, I am pretty serious with competing as well. And obviously, me and Finn clashed heads and all that a little bit with stuff, and I get why he done it. It's just the way I interpret things, because I'm a bit black and white, straight down. And I thought it was good. I'm glad that happened, because that sort of like kicked it off quite hard and all that. It's like, 'cause, it's a bit of traction. It's a bit of, it's a bit of energy, as you say. I just poured my beer on the side of the couch. Brilliant. Yeah. I think, just sort of getting in the momentum of it, because I used to be out in the field all the time in the range and that'd be over like days and days. There was uncertainty, there was lack of nutrition, if that as well, lack of sleep, so recoveries out the bin, muscular fatigue, mental fatigue, the social, like we're all together, we're all great with each other, but it's a lot of energy, like physical and mental. I can deal with that kind of stuff really well. So that's why, like, even though I was tired, I like that, because I know everyone else is getting really tired, if that makes sense, in a really weird, passive way.
Yeah.
Because I was beat up by the end of it. Like, on that 5th day, I was like, I don't know how much I've got left in me. But I think the camaraderie and the logistics and just everything, and how challenging and three-dimensional the events were, showed how competent and what capable each athlete was. Yeah, I done all right on the overhead, but some guys Rich done the dragon stones, Zach flipped a car, Finn done done like a world record on the Dinny stones, which I think was slightly overlooked as well. In my opinion, like that was like top end stuff. So it's just again maybe a bit biased because I'm Scottish, but that was a feat to see, and the fact that he was high as shit on psychedelics as well. So, but that's it. That's my 20 cents on it. But yeah, I was happy with it. I think it was great. I think it was exhausting, but that's good, because then your character starts to come out when you get really tired, and you start to break the little cracks in your what you should say and what you shouldn't say. Emotions get high, mate.
Well, my missus was saying just the other day, a couple nights ago, that she thought it was really wholesome, being how you were like more competitive at the start of the week, but as the week went on, then you were kind of, you had that scene where you were like, I should fart, and by the end you're like in your cheerleader outfit, and she just thought it was really nice, and she wanted me to tell you, and what she was saying it was like it was striking deep. So.
Well, that's nice.
Well, I was going to bring it up a little later, but we talked about it for a second, so I think we should just go ahead and get into it. I think it's safe to say that one of the biggest moments of the entire season came in episode 2 at Atlas Endurance. During the very first event, I only gave 2 rules, and there was one athlete that had a very specific interpretation of those 2 rules. So let's take a look now.
All right, good view.
Oh shit, I forgot about this.
Finn's underwear just smells that bad. It's pretty fucking gross. Oh, fuck. Oh.
I wish I did it like I clean with a 50 was starting to turn me up. Like,
it's a fair play. It's just
circus dumbbell scavenge hunt. Went and scavenged dumbbell, circus dumbbell. You get a point for every press. Is that press in a circus dumbbell? If you take it at its word, it is. Like,
yeah, I mean, I
think about things like when I'm doing an event. I think about, the fucking the easiest way to do it.
Calm down.
That man just took it to that man just took it to another level. Honestly,
that was a Josh.
I didn't think of it.
That's a Lancaster move for sure, right there.
That's why I got on with Josh.
Finn could have just been stronger. I mean, he could have just been stronger, but he wasn't. So.
Hey, mate.
And also, he was fighting me for the 60.
Is strongman strongest man, or is it fucking like? Is
not
it pure
smartest
strength?
man. Oh, watch your ankle.
But like, it's not all about pure strength. It's about fucking everything. Use your strength to do your best. That's why I split. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what he's done. That's all he's done. He split jerked it instead of fucking pressing it.
No, it's not. No, we're not going to go down that road.
Yeah, let's not do that, man. Let's not do that.
Can I just say one thing, Josh? What about that medley at work on the dumbbell?
You know, I think I definitely
got stronger.
So you've beat me fair and square on dumbbell once now, is what you're saying.
Why?
I mean, I'm impressed, Finn. You don't just spin round in circles with a dumbbell anymore.
Yeah, it's come a long way.
So Finn, looking back on that, you got pretty upset that you weren't given full points, and all the guys voted and they agreed that you should get half points for that, which I think was rewarding your creativity while still trying to keep some in, what people thought was integrity. Do you still think that you deserve to have full points?
Yeah, I do. And I think if anybody else did it, they would think they would get full points as well. Press the dumbbell. Everybody could have pressed it like that. At the time, I was like, I pressed them, guys.
Tom, you said Finn's creativity. I heard differently. I heard that it was actually Cal Cruiser that came up with it.
Oh, that's right. It was Cal that gave you the idea?
Yeah. We were brainstorming. I was like, what can I do? And then, figured it out.
So we'll have to give Cal credit on that.
Yeah, he can get the other half of fun.
Yeah. Well, you had Kyle's vote for full points, I think, until he found out you were using two hands to press it. Kyle, do you think you should have gotten full points too?
When I thought it was Finn to come up with it himself, yes. After watching it back and hearing that it was actually Cal that came up with it, I kind of think that makes me think differently. Because now you're not rewarding Finn's creativity, you're rewarding Cal's. You know what I mean? Did the rules say every press counts? Yes. Did he press it? Yes.
Well, there we go. I think we've heard enough.
The biggest, the reason this was such a big deal was because it was the first time there was some real interpretation of the rules, right? And it was a good one. It wasn't a light twist. It was a very, very good way to interpret the rules. As mad as I was about it, respect for coming up with it and doing it that way. Because if that same thing would have happened on the last day, I think everybody would have felt differently about it overall because of the way that different rules have been interpreted, different challenges have been done. I think we would have had different discussions about it if it would have happened, like I said, on the last day.
Yeah, he took his shot and he took it early.
Yeah, I think it's worth mentioning that on the second day, the prize was announced. But I think that turned up the temperature a little bit. The heat in the room was going up.
So I have my own question about the circus dumbbell medley event, and I'm just going to play a short clip for us to watch, and then I've got a question to ask.
The lads will be like, oh, fuck that. Right. So, strategies. No stupid. This is when experience kicks in. Aye,
yeah,
right.
that's good, yeah.
I'll play a little bit of bluffing. So, get that camera out of my face, man.
Oh, chilly here.
Yeah. The plan actually backfired because me and Kyle were meant to be in on each other. Unfortunately, someone got it before him, so I just went to a random one over there. It just happened to be 50, 27.
We were going to fucking strategize.
Yeah, and it just.
I stole the 40 off.
I seen you running over, and I was like, nah, mate, I just stuck with 50.
I've watched it a million times. What was the strategy that you guys were trying to do? What was it you were trying to come up with? And how did it backfire? How did the strategy fail?
Kyle, do you want to explain or do you want me to?
I can explain if you want.
Yeah, you go for it. You can speak clearer as well for the audience to understand.
So me and Dean, we decided that we would get a dumbbell and that he'd do a few reps, I'd do a few reps. So when the other one's resting, the other one's doing reps. But we if there's two of us, we have a better chance of getting a lighter dumbbell. And so Dean went and got the right I think it was the 50, and the one I got was 60 or something. I was like, no, not even touching that. But coming back, I seen Zach had the 40. So I thought, the 40, that's a nice light one. I'll steal that off him. And then went back to Dean. Dean had the 50, I had the 40. Dean wanted to stick with the 50, which is fair enough. But I was thinking, well, I can barely clean anything at the moment, so I'll just stick with the 40 and not risk trying to get the 50.
That makes sense. That's pretty smart. Did anyone else have any strategies going into that? Or because to be honest, I didn't know that wrestling was going to happen. I just thought people would hold their hand on something to guard a dumbbell or something. It didn't occur to me that someone would knock someone over to get a dumbbell. I'm very glad it happened, but I didn't see it coming. So did anyone else have any ideas about how the event was going to go?
Try and find a dumbbell I can press and then press it. It didn't go very well.
Yeah, I think Rich's strategy was to run a full 5K looking for the right dumbbell and then never get any.
Well, I knew that this was going to come down to just having the lightest dumbbell, because there's just no way that if you ended up with one of those heavier dumbbells that you were going to get the most reps. It's just mathematically speaking, you get so much more out of the lighter dumbbells, which was my plan before I was fucking up. Kyle, here I'm thinking Kyle's this nice, sweet, pink-haired man, comes up and pushes me off my dumbbell. My 2 cents
You
on
didn't
it.
move as far from the dumbbells as I thought you would. I should have pushed you harder. I pushed him like, oh shit, he just stayed in place.
He's anticipating pushing an 80 kg. Yeah, well, not that day.
Is there anything that you guys would want the audience to know about the week that didn't make it into the edit or didn't come across in the edit? You know, I know I had to cut a lot of stuff out that I wanted to leave in just for time. Maybe some things got a little repetitive, so I didn't always put them in, things like that. And there were some things that just didn't make it onto camera or I couldn't convey. Like, you know, for instance, like just how brutal I think a lot of the travel really was on us.
There's a lady at the gym that's 100% convinced, Jacob, that you did not, mop up those 150 points from the van. So
There. I also don't believe it.
yeah, some evidence.
I don't know what to tell you guys. I mean, nobody else was going to do it. There were a lot of challenges left in the book. Nobody was touching. All right, I was just trying to get my points where I could. I wasn't in the events. I was points poor, and it was day 5, and I saw my opportunity. I had to take it.
Because this was our interpretation was you had to bust that nut with everybody else in the van. I tried having a cheeky pocket pool whilst we were driving. It just wasn't fucking happening. Pouring in my ear.
Wait, did you really try that?
It was worth a crack.
Dude, I sat next to you like the whole time. That's fucking
amazing.
Zach
could have asked for help.
I'll tell you what doesn't come across is Zach busily telling everybody, I haven't slept all week. And then every time we got in the van, he was fucking spark out. Right? But guys, I haven't slept all week. Bro.
Always asleep.
The thing about that is I don't remember sleeping at all in the van. That's the crazy part. It's like all just Finley said, it's just a beautiful blur. Like I kind of in that twilight zone where you're kind of awake and you're kind of asleep and you don't really know how much time is passing. But I would like the audience to know. That I did weigh in at a cheeky 90 kg before I left, which I have video of, by the way.
It was
I can verify that is true.
What did you weigh at the end of the week?
I think kind of like I mentioned, I was 99 kg from the moment we weighed in until about 10 days after the contest. So I was, what was that, about 17 days of blood curdling blood pressure and feeling my heartbeat and my fingernails.
I think Zach, hot take here. I'm pretty sure Zach is just so American that he's allergic to Europe. His body just started rejecting the land. Zach should have gone to the hospital for the record. Zach should have gone to the hospital and he toughed it out.
I can't remember if it was day 4 or 5, but Zach, you were just like, you were not on that planet. Like, people were talking to you, and you were just away with the fairies. Like, you were orbiting.
I remember.
And I was saying to Jacob, I was like, keep an eye on him because I'm seriously worried he's going to fucking drop.
Yeah, Rick pulled me aside with a very legitimate, genuine concern. Like, hey man, I think Zach's in trouble. Like, look out for him. Make sure he's okay.
Well, I appreciate that, guys. Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
I have some fan questions here. I asked people to write in questions for you guys, so I've got a few that I'll ask you now. Gandalf the Orange asks, "What would you have done differently?"
I wouldn't have torn my bicep 2 weeks out.
I would have had a heart attack 6 weeks out.
I would have flipped the car twice.
I would have not been a pussy and actually pressed the Investone.
I think I would have. I feel like I started off really slow, and I didn't really know what to expect, and I started off really conservatively. So I think I would have come out a little bit more hot.
Yeah, I was thinking of you for this question, Josh, a little bit. I was thinking, would you have eaten more eggs or?
Dude, you know, I've said this openly, but like something about the food over there, it might have been my American body again, just kind of just rejecting just any European food or anything European. But like,
Are you sure it wasn't the eggs?
that was the most palatable thing for me the whole week, was just eggs. I would have started eating eggs earlier. I did on the first day, but I just slowed down on them for some reason, you know?
I would have been a bit more liberal with my interpretation of the word push press, because apparently there's a little bit of a different interpretation of that word in Europe. Unbeknownst to
Strict
me.
press?
Yeah, I mean, strict press and push press, to me, there's a very hard line there. But I mean, hats off to Rich for taking every inch and mile that was given. Respect.
Centimeter and kilometer, Zach.
There we go. Let me speak in your language, mate.
Moe's Bar asks, "Is there any unexpected event from Nature Walk that you'd like to see in a bigger show?"
I would love to see that Dragonstone, like the run of Dragonstones in a, like I say, we get them in Ultimate Strongman shows here, in the Open Skies, and like I see no reason why an 80 kg couldn't do 100 to 140 as a 5-stone run to shoulder.
Tim Beatson asks, "Would you do it again?"
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wouldn't even think about it.
So before we get to the awards, there's one more moment that really touched me that I wanted to share. Let's just take a look.
You're right, mate.
Yeah, I'm good. Yeah. It's just one of those things, it's scary and nothing else, you know. You don't know what's going on in there. And it sucks just not being able to do shit, you know. Like, but I guess it's just part of it. But at the same time, I guess it's okay to take a minute to, you know, let yourself be frustrated with it, you know what I mean? Which is what I'm doing at the moment, so yeah.
Obviously, that was Kyle having a little candid moment about his hurt arm. And it actually brought me to tears when I watched it during the edit, because I didn't get to see that during the trip. But I don't know if it's like this for you guys, but we're all masters of our physical bodies. When we tell our bodies to do something, our body does it. And when there's an injury that keeps you from being able to make your body do what you want, for me, it puts me in a horrible mood. So I knew exactly how Kyle felt in that moment. And I don't really have a question, but, you know, Kyle, hats off for being in such good spirits and positive all week and always finding a way to participate in the events.
I think you can extend that to everybody, because I think when we've talked here, like everybody's come in with something, and yeah, just competed the weekend. I was going to say never complained, but we definitely all complained about at some point. But yeah, so hats off to everybody.
To lighten the mood a bit.
Sure.
Well, so the night that we all went out and had a good time, you know, obviously we were all kind of drunk and stuff. And me dating Kyle stayed together in a room. Kyle was upset about something. And I can't remember what it was. Me and Dean are together. We're in the room. And Kyle's there and he's upset, and I'm like, you know, I'm trying to console him. And I'm just like, I'm like high on mushrooms and I'm just like trying to like navigate the situation. And I got this like candy and I'm just like, hey man, do you want some chocolate?
Right. Yeah. So I was in bed as well. They two guys are up. I'm fucking covers over watching. I'm tired. Kyle's having a borderline meltdown because he's just hammered as well. Zach's tripping on mushies and Adderall and booze and whatever, and he's got the dungarees on. He's like 95 kilo, and he looks like a trucker, and he's swaying like that. And he says, "Do you just want some chocolate?" And I'm like, "That's not helping the situation, mate." And I'm like in the covers like this, like chuckling, but like I feel sorry for Kyle, but I'm like, I can't keep this together, man. This is fucking weird.
Oh my god.
And then that was it. That was pretty much the end of the trip after that.
Yeah, that was it. That was a final candle.
Yeah, that was an intense night.
Well, speaking of the end of the trip, do you guys want to get to the awards and finally find out
Yeah.
who fucking won this thing? All right, so the first award to go out is the fan favorite award. I just finished tallying all the votes before we hopped on this call, and it wasn't even remotely a contest. It wasn't even close. Zach absolutely stomped everybody. Zach is officially the Nature Walk UK fan favorite. Congratulations,
Yeah,
Zach. You have
Zach.
any words that you want to say?
He's only got one fan.
I thought fucking Dean was gonna win. I didn't think anybody really liked me. Well, this was an emotional moment for me, guys. I'd like to say thank you to all my fans. I'd like to thank my staff and just everybody that's made this possible. And we all worked really hard to make this happen. And we look forward to further productions. So yes, thank you, everybody.
Zach, you have one fan and they voted 2,000 times.
She's voting right now. Right now, she's still voting.
Yeah. This next award is for another 150 points. It's the Spirit of Nature Walk. So this was an award that you guys got to vote for each other, who you thought embodied the spirit of Nature Walk during the trip. So you guys all voted for each other, and there was a three-way tie. So I asked Steven, Josiah, and Joe, our camera operators, for their votes. And they continued the three-way tie. Even with them adding in, it was still a three-way tie. So I've decided to split the points evenly. So 50 points each go to Josh, Jacob, and Finley.
Well done, boys.
Good job, fellas. You guys deserved it for sure. Honestly, you two especially. Like that was you guys. I think between like Finley's working of the rules and just generally kicking ass out there, and then Jacob stepping in and just owning the entire week was incredible. Like that was so sweet to see. Like
Yeah, I feel like Jacob really hit a home run.
Yeah.
I'm surprised it wasn't, 6 for 6, but
Sounds like Josh is forgetting that I intentionally rage baited him day 4 and 5 the whole time.
Before we get to the overall winner, I bet you guys are wondering who the fuck won this thing if it were an actual strongman competition? Who won the events? Well, absolutely I have the answer. Of course I have the answer. Let's just take it from the top, which in this case is the bottom. 6th place with 485 points. It's Rich Molnar. In 5th place with 605 points. It's Josh. It's a tie for 3rd place with 645 points between Zach and Kyle. Tied for 3rd. In 1st place with a 70-point lead over 2nd place, it's Mr. Dean McVie.
Yeah, buddy. This arrived yesterday.
Where'd you get that? Oh,
I don't know. Someone obviously knew.
What do you think? I sent it to him.
It looks like Zach's forearm. I think Zach was a close one. Obviously, he done the car flip, but it wasn't added into the sort of general gym pop event as well. So I just want Zach to take formal credit as well for his performance as well.
Well, thank you, Dean. I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that. But you're definitely the better athlete overall, well rounded. So thank you, man.
Appreciate it, mate. But it's just a bit of methodical sort of stuff with events and stuff, and that's why I get high rate with me and Finn and all that, because I was like, this is going to jeopardise it, and that's where the fucking tism kicked in a bit, innit? But yeah, cheers. Appreciate the delivery.
Congratulations. Well deserved.
Thank you.
All right, so the moment we've all been waiting for, the overall winner of Nature Walk UK, the winner of $1,000, a place on the Odd Objects team, and their own merch or whatever the fuck I said. I can't even remember at this point. Overall, we'll start it again from sixth place, about 1,075 points. It's Dean from first to last. That's crazy. Fifth place with 1,165 points. Zach, fourth place with 1,185 points. Kyle. And by the way, Zach, that 150 points really came in handy for the fan favorite vote right there. It bumped you up a whole spot.
I see that. Jesus, man.
Third place, 1,250 points. Rich fucking Molnar. Rich fucking Molnar. You know, I was thinking when I was watching the edit back about Rich putting on the wrist wraps at dinner and the singlet, and I thought, you know, what a good sport. He's not even doing that many challenges, but he's doing these goofy challenges for some reason. I think it's really funny. But then looking back, you did a lot of challenges, and you got yourself into third place. I clearly didn't see half the challenges you did, or wasn't paying attention. I don't know.
I would just like to point out that I'm doing a challenge right now. Mike, you may be these bad boys.
Those are nice underwear, bro. You made out.
I think people will be wondering why I'm sat here shirtless, and I'm like, got to get the pants.
I thought you were in the sauna, bro. I thought you were like cutting weight or something.
He wants his extra points. You know what? For going shirtless, I'll give you 800 more points, but it's still not enough to put you into second place. So you can have 800 more points because Josh and Finn were battling it out all week, and the points were crazy close. Jesus Christ, their scores. I mean, it's so far between second and third. So first place has 2,315 points. Second place has 2,120 points. And the overall winner of Nature Walk UK is Finley Mercer.
There we go, Finn. Yeah.
Right.
Let's go.
Yes.
Check this out, guys. Check this out. So, get it, and then you got this little number.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I didn't know the butt was removable.
Yeah. No, you can have like a PG kind of version. You know, you got the grandparents around, and then you just pop it on. There you go. So that's definitely my favorite trophy I got.
Tommy, I have to ask, and I'm only asking because I want to make sure I didn't miss this. Did you send me something and I just didn't get it, or was the fan favorite kind of just like a hurrah kind of thing? I just want to make sure I don't have something in the mailbox I should be showing somebody because I haven't checked.
No, I didn't send you anything.
That's totally fine. I'm like, oh shit, is there something in the fucking mailbox that I was supposed to have for this?
It's a fan favorite. The fans are supposed to send it to you.
Finn, do you want to say some words with your trophy?
Yeah. Well, Tommy, I want to thank you because I feel like I can speak for everybody here when I say it was one of the most like creative, memorable, and fun weeks of our lives. And we all had a lot of fun. We all kind of surprised each other in really cool ways, and I loved hanging out with all of you guys. So thank you so much.
Well, it was my pleasure. Time to wrap it up. Let's end it now. From the week of Nature Walk UK, what's your rose and what's your thorn? Josh, why don't you go first?
Sure. Honestly, I think my rose was that as soon as we got to the bar in Patty's hometown, Rich is wearing his singlet with the wrist wraps, which guy, that was so fucking funny.
That was very funny.
Dude, and the ordering or him attempting to order a drink for that German couple was fantastic. But like that was the night where I think we all got to actually connect for the first time, and every single one of us really were coming out as far as doing challenges and really getting into nature walk. I think that was the day that like turned it for everybody. And then ironically, that thorn it was that same exact night when we all were stuck outside sleeping under the stars, because I think we all got the worst night's sleep possible that night. Yeah, that sucked.
What about you, Jacob?
Yeah, I'd say, I mean, my row's a little bit sappy, but just really coming into this and being around all the guys that I really didn't know at all before and making, I think, a really genuine connection. And like now I feel like I'm friends with all these guys. Finn's coaching me now. So that connection I was able to make with all you guys, that means a lot to me. I really appreciate how y'all treated me the whole time. And that was a blast. And thorn wise, I'm upset with myself that I didn't do bits of wood, because I think I would have beaten all of the guys.
Bold.
Oh shit!
Dude,
Big
what?
talk.
Bold.
Hey, mate. You know who won that event, don't you? It's a big talk for you, man. Maybe next year.
Dean, what's your rose? What's your thorn?
My rose would be the camaraderie. Obviously, a lot of us guys are pretty seasoned here. An example would be I competed with Josh and Zach back in 2019, and yourself when you won it. I thought I knew you guys personally, but I actually didn't until we done Nature Walk. Then I truly got to know you. Me and Josh shared a bed together, mate.
6 hours in a car driving from Scotland down to England, and then me and Dean are just cuddled up in a full-size bed, pillow talking for at least an hour and a half.
It was we shared a lot of opinions and a lot of shit. So yeah. Another thing, just another little rose was just at Paddy's farm in the morning. Everyone's still sleeping. I don't sleep too well anyway, so I sort of got up early, and it was really refreshing to sort of walk along, sort of seeing the farm, the sunrise and all that kind of stuff. Just thinking it's like the sports actually, and you guys, we are here because of what we've done in the past and what we're doing as like a team here. It was a once in a life opportunity. Born, I know I was the least active person with the other secondary challenges outside of the actual events. I know I didn't take too much participation in it. Yeah, I probably could have done a lot more, but I reckon I would have, if I'd done it the way I behave, I would have been exhausting and I wouldn't have stopped. Like, I wouldn't have stopped, right? So that's why I didn't do it, all right? Because I would have burnt myself out and everyone would have fucking hated me more.
I think there would have been a couple of 150-point challenges getting completed if Dean would have really gotten into it.
Mate, I'm going to keep it at that. But yeah, it would have got a bit fucking weird, mate. But that's my. Everything was great. Anyway, moving on.
Zach, rose and thorn.
So the thorn was definitely, I don't know. There's not much I really could have done about it, but just feeling like shit from just all the water retention and stuff, because that does, you do feel that. Blood pressure is super high. I'm like 20 pounds heavier than I normally am. Shit's not fitting me right. Hard to breathe, kind of stuff. And then the rose, really, I'd say, kind of like almost just like what Dean said, just getting to hang out with you guys, because I don't really hang out with anybody ever really at my in my normal life, because I just I run my gym and my business and I train, and I just don't really have time to like ever hang out with people. So not only did I get to hang out with people in general, but people that are just like me. That was the most fun part for me.
Kyle, what's your rose and your thorn?
I kind of have to just be in the same note as everyone else, and just like the whole experience and the camaraderie between all of us was, it's definitely one of the best things that happened that week. I could talk for 5 minutes and not like that is if I could get the words out about just like how good an experience that it was. Just spending time with like each and every one of you. Like, like of course I've met everybody before, at some sort of competition and all, but it's just a completely different environment, a completely different like mood to it. You know what I mean? It's just a different level. And the thorn, I think just the amount of like anxiety and nerves that I brought with me into the experience held me back, which it always does, but particularly for this, it held me back. And even just watching the show back and watching myself do the events, I'm just disappointed with what I brought to the table because it's not me, and it hasn't been me for a while, if that makes sense.
Rich, Rose and Thorn.
Yeah, I mean, the rose for me, like, there was a lot of lifts in there that like meant a lot to me. So like the Dragonstone, the strict log at the time was like the heaviest log I'd pressed in quite a long time, and there's physical feats that I was really proud of, and I watch it back now and I'm like, I was really like lifting the Dinny Stone for me was amazing, and like the people that we met, not just what the guys, but getting to spend personal one-on-one time with the Saltmans, getting to spend time chatting with Flash and Paddy and things like that, getting to make like close personal connections with these incredible people and the guys as well. It's money can't buy experiences like what we had together, And I say it's like it felt like a group of brothers. Like I'm a lot like Zach. Like I work, I train. I don't have a lot of friends. Like a lot of people said, "Oh, it's like a stag do," and I'm like, I wouldn't fucking know. I've never been on one, but like getting to do this was like the closest group of friends that I've ever sort of spent time with, and it was like, yeah, really, really amazing. For me, like the only negative was that like I felt like a shadow of myself almost. I just know that I wasn't in the physical shape that I wanted to be. Like knowing that I finished effectively last in the strongman side of it, I'm like, I can kind of see why. Like, I look like shit. I felt like shit. So yeah, I just wish I'd been able to show up in the sort of shape that I'm in now, and really give more to the actual events. Just spending time with the guys sort of put the edge off that.
Well, and I don't know if you guys have noticed, but Luke Stoltman wears odd object socks quite a lot. We clearly made an impression on him. All right, Mr. Big Winner, Ben, your rose and your thorn.
Yeah, for me, the obvious one that kind of sticks out as a thorn would be pulling the hamstring. But I think in a way that was like a rose in disguise, because definitely have to get a bit more creative and a bit more cheeky with things, and I might not have if I was like completely all right. So I think that ended up kind of being like a hidden rose. But my non-hidden rose is Josh, because I feel like definitely pushed me and made me like a better competitor, and it was really fun going back and forth with him, and yeah, I hope you had fun as well.
No, Finn, going back and forth with you the whole week was great, and all you guys was great. But yeah, like Finn especially, just really locking in on both sides of trying to push it on the events themselves, and then the challenges and everything. And yeah, man, it was crazy. It's funny even after the fact, seeing how close it was, because I think you and I both knew that whole time how tight it was going to end up being between
Yeah,
us.
yeah.
And now,
I thought with the 24 hours food, I was going to be all right, and then I fucked it.
my actual thorn is the thing that never made camera, because me just kind of being a dickhead to Finley and just bitching about chocolate milk and what counts as not eating for 24 hours for way longer than I should have.
I was inviting
Yeah.
any kind of bitching from you and stuff. Like when it came to
Yeah.
the Hercules hole, like I really wanted Kyle to beat you, so I didn't have to go, because I knew that would get you. So it was my MO. So
It took me a while to actually see it. Like it just got real when it did.
So that's it for the Nature Walk UK reunion show. All these guys are awesome, and all you are awesome. And go watch Nature Walk UK right now, because if you haven't, it'd be really fucking weird that you just watched this. So if none of this made any sense, go back and watch the show. A first of its kind show, if you don't count any other shows that are just like it, like The Amazing Race or King of the Road or anything like that. So, fuck, man, I'm terrible at fucking endings. Yeah, this is it.
No,
Yeah,
that was
roll the
perfect.
credits. Roll the credits.
Tommy, you know the way at the end of the sumo, you got us all together and to shout Nature Walk UK.
Yeah,
we should see if that works over video.
Oh,
for
you
the
want to?
intro.
Yeah, you want to sign that? 1, 2, 3.
Nature
Walk
UK. UK. Nature Walk.
Guys,
That's so fucking. That's the ending. Yeah, that's the ending. That was so fucking terrible. Oh my god.
You take strongest man on the 90s for a fucking reason. What's the big deal? Bro, I'm like so fucking high.
I'll never do that again.
This section's gonna be crazy.
Nature Walk UK!